Okay, to start off our metric to metric conversions, we're going to start with a simple problem where we just go from one metric prefix to the base unit. So we're going to go from kilograms to grams. In this example, we're going 63.7 kilograms, and we want to know how many grams that is. So what we got to do is, just like we start off every other dimensional analysis problem in this classroom, we have to put the given over 1. So we'll start off with 63.7 kilograms, put it over 1, and get ready to move on. So we want to go from kilograms to grams, and since grams is the base unit, we can go straight to it. If you remember on your sheet, you have the sheet where you have all the prefixes above the base that are larger than the base, and all the prefixes below the base that are smaller than the base. So if we're going from either side to the base unit, it can be a one-step conversion. So we're going to go 63.7 kilograms straight to grams, and we do that by bringing kilograms down because we want these units to cancel out. Remember, anytime something is on top of the fraction and the bottom of the fraction, they'll cancel each other out. So we have 63.7 kilograms over 1, our given. Then we're going to bring kilograms down. Now we're going to go straight to the base unit, which is grams. Then you ask yourself, which one is larger? Is kilograms larger than grams, or grams larger than kilograms? In this case, kilograms is larger than grams, so it gets a 1. We always give the larger unit a 1. Then we ask ourselves, how many grams are in 1 kilogram? If you look on your conversion table that I gave you of the metric prefixes, there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. So our problem is set up such as this. And at this point, the kilograms are going to cancel out. We're at grams, and guess what? That's where we want to be, so we can stop right there. There's no need to convert any further. We are at the base unit. We're at grams. So our answer will be in the unit of grams, and we just have to do our math now. We have 63.7 kilograms times 1,000. Well, forget the kilograms, they're gone. 63.7 times 1,000, and if you do it in your calculator or in your head, that comes up to 63,700 grams. That's your answer, and it's just that simple. It's a one-step conversion going straight from a metric prefix to the base unit. Okay, here we have an example. This is example number 2, where we're not just going to go from one metric prefix to the base. We're actually converting through the base to get to the other side. So these units, millimeters, are smaller than our base, which is meters. And these units, hectometers, are larger than our base, the unit of meters. And remember, if you ever have a doubt of what your base unit is, just cover the prefix up. You have millimeters right here, cover it up, it's meters. You've covered up the prefix m, which is milli, and it leaves you with meters. Same thing on the other side. You can cover up the h, and it's meters. So that's how you can tell what your base unit is. Just cover up the prefix, there it is. And your other, to know what the prefix is, refer to that sheet I gave you until you're very comfortable with these, so you'll know what we're talking about. If you just saw m and didn't know what that was, check your sheet, and you'll see small h is hecto, and the m would be meter. All right, let's convert this problem. We have 42,000 millimeters equals how many hectometers? That's what we have to figure out. So we want to convert through the base. So remember, like we did in class, we're going to go to the base and then go from the base to hectometers. So let's start off just like we start every other conversion problem in class. I want you to get used to saying this. Take the given and put it over 1. So we're going to go 42,000 millimeters and put it over 1. What this does is it gets you in the mode of having fractions, because all the conversions are going to come as fractions. And what this does is, you already see this as a fraction, 42,000 over 1, which has the same meaning as 42,000, but it puts it in the numerator, and it's easier just to think in your head when you're doing math. Multiply, multiply, multiply across the top, and divide, divide, divide across the bottom. It just already separates it to a fraction. It has the same meaning as this, but it's in fraction form, so it helps. Okay, so 42,000 millimeters over 1. We want to convert to the base. So what is our base? It would be meters. So we're going to go from millimeters to meters. And you look, We now have millimeters on top, millimeters on the bottom. They'll cancel out, so we're going to be in meters. So what is our, which is our bigger one? Millimeters or meters is what you have to ask yourself. The larger one is meters. And then you ask yourself how many millimeters are in a meter, and that would be 1,000. So you're there, millimeters are going to cancel out. You're going to be in meters, but you can't stop there. The problem's not over. When you convert through the base, you have to go on to the next one. So now we go meters. We're going to bring it down because we want it to cancel out, because we want to get to hectometers. So we're going to go from meters to hectometers. Remember, that's the whole reason we bring the units down, is to convert to the next thing, and as we do it, we're canceling them out. Millimeters will cancel out, meters will cancel out, we'll be left in hectometers. Okay, so you ask yourself, which one's larger, hectometers or meters? It'll be hectometers, and there are 100 meters in a hectometer. So now, we're at the units we want to be at, hectometers, hectometers, that matches up, so we can stop there. We're through converting. We look back, millimeters cancel out, meters cancel out, we're left with hectometers, and that's what we want. So I'm going to put the units off to the side over here. And then you're going to do your math. We got 42,000 divided by 1,000 divided by 100. And let me make sure everything's right. 42,000 divided by 1,000 is 42. Then divided by 100 is going to be 0.42. So we're going to have 0.42 hectometers. And going along with our significant figures, you have 2 significant figures in your given. You have 2 significant figures in your answer. So we're good to go. 40.42 hectometers is your answer. Okay, and just one final thing I want to touch on, again, like we did in class, is to make sure you're putting this in your calculator correctly. Make sure that when you multiply fractions, you multiply across the top, and then you divide by everything across the bottom. Don't cross multiply. That's when you divide fractions, not when you're multiplying fractions. Don't get that mixed up. So in this case, when I was saying 42,000 divided by 1,000 divided by 100, the reason is because 42,000 times 1 times 1 is 42,000 for the top. Then you divide it by everything across the bottom. Divided by 1,000, divided by 100. But when you're doing your orders of operations for your calculator, don't put 42,000 divided by 1,000, then times that by 100, unless it's in parentheses. So make sure you get that right. Don't convert correctly and then make the mistake within the calculator. So if you have any questions about that, ask me in class and I'll show you exactly how to do that. But that's easy. We'll get that taken care of.